Imagine this. 5 superstar idols at the top of their game, a billion-dollar music company, secret power struggles, leaked private messages, police raids, stock fraud allegations, and billions of won in penalties hanging in the balance. Then one explosive decision that shook the entire K-pop industry to its core. What happens when the people who create the hits fight the very system that made them famous? What happens when billion-dollar contracts collide with artistic freedom? What happens when fans become protesters, courtrooms become battlegrounds, and every social media post could cost millions? This is not just another industry story. It's a whirlwind of ambition, loyalty, betrayal, power, money, manipulation, and the relentless pursuit of freedom in an industry built on iron contracts and impossible dreams. Tonight on The Gossip Glow, we reveal the twists, secrets, courtroom drama, financial penalties, and emotional battles behind the NewJeans legal war. A story changing K-pop, maybe forever. Buckle up, because this saga has more plot twists than your favorite K-drama. The Kingdom and Its Cracks, K-pop, is a kingdom built on strict routines, relentless discipline, grueling training regimes that start in childhood, and dreams sold to millions across the globe. But every kingdom has a secret, and NewJeans became the face of both its glory and its deepest, darkest cracks. In July 2022, 5 girls, Minji, Hani, Danielle, Harin, and Hye-in, weren't just launched, they were catapulted onto the global stage with a revolutionary debut strategy. Their music took over not just the Korean charts, but international billboards, TikTok feeds, Instagram reels, and every streaming platform imaginable. They redefined what viral meant in an industry that already lived and breathed online engagement. Within their first year, NewJeans achieved what most K-pop groups spend a decade chasing: 5 songs charting simultaneously on the Billboard Hot 100, making them the first K-pop female act to accomplish this historic feat. Ditto debuted at number 1. 96 on the Hot 100 in January 2023, making them the 4th K-pop girl group ever to enter the chart, and the fastest to do so, achieving it in less than 6 months. Their second EP, Get Up, reached number 1 on the Billboard 200 in 2023, selling 1.65 million copies in its first week and making them only the 2nd K-pop girl group to top the chart after Blackpink. But these weren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. Each achievement represented broken records, shattered glass ceilings, and unprecedented global recognition. Super Shy peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Global 200. Their debut album became the most streamed girl group album in Melon history, with over 555 million streams. They accumulated 169 days at number 1 on Melon, more than any artist of the decade. They performed at Lollapalooza Chicago, becoming the first K-pop girl group to grace that legendary stage. The visionary behind the vision. Their CEO, Hee-jin, was no ordinary executive. She was dubbed the Genius Director and the Mother of NewJeans for good reason. Before ADOR, Min spent 15 years at SM Entertainment crafting the visual identities of K-pop giants like Girls' Generation, SHINee, FX, EXO, and Red Velvet. She won Best Visual and Art Director at the 2016 Mnet Asian Music Awards for maximizing the artist's image and contributing to the progress of visual music. In 2019, Min joined HYBE, formerly Big Hit Entertainment, home of BTS, as Chief Brand Officer before becoming CEO of ADOR, HYBE's new subsidiary label, in November 2021. ADOR was part of HYBE's ambitious multi-label system, a corporate strategy designed to diversify risk and create multiple revenue streams by housing numerous independent labels under one massive conglomerate. Min crafted a unique visual and musical universe for NewJeans: Y2K chic aesthetic, Jersey Club beats, early 2000 SR&B influences, minimalist pop, and endlessly shareable content perfectly timed for Gen Z and beyond. She broke industry norms by releasing Attention without a traditional teaser campaign, creating immediate buzz and confusion that worked brilliantly. Her innovative approach led to massive global partnerships with Apple, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Nike, Levi's, Line Friends, Spotify, and LG Electronics. When Coca-Cola tapped NewJeans as brand partners in April 2023, they collaborated on the single Zero and a music video that blurred the line between advertisement and art, racking up 18 million views. Nike cleverly recreated scenes from NewJeans' earlier music videos, but with members dressed head to toe in their sneakers. These weren't just endorsements, they were cultural phenomena that helped Adore generate $83 million in revenue in 2023 alone. But as their popularity grew, so did the tension behind the scenes. Adore, the creative haven Min ran, thrived artistically, but their parent company HYBE, watching profits and power dynamics shift, grew increasingly wary of her influence and independence. By late 2023, creative disagreements became boardroom wars, whispers became accusations, and trust began to crumble. Here's where the story gets darker. HYBE's multi-label system, designed to prevent over-reliance on any single artist, they had been 95% dependent on BTS revenue before 2020, created internal competition and alleged copying scandals. HYBE owned 80% of Adore, while Min and other executives held the remaining 20%. This power imbalance would prove explosive. Rumors whispered of budget cuts, artistic blockades, power grabs, and internal HYBE documents allegedly stating plans to discard the old and create a new plan regarding NewJeans. Another leaked document allegedly said, "We can abandon NewJeans and start anew," a chilling revelation that suggested the group the company had invested billions in could be disposable. There were accusations that HYBE was prioritizing and even plagiarizing NewJeans' concept for another group under a different subsidiary, ILIT, managed by Belift Lab. Min accused ILIT of copying NewJeans' choreography, styling, branding, team structure, and even promotional materials down to specific photo shoot concepts. She claimed a HYBE whistleblower revealed that ILIT's creative team had access to NewJeans' confidential plans, leading to striking similarities. Court documents later showed some similarities in promotional materials, but ruled it didn't constitute legal copying. Still, the damage was done. Fans were furious, and the internal war escalated. Fans noticed everything: rare absences from scheduled events, scripted and uncomfortable answers in interviews, increasingly honest and emotional social media posts, and the group's visible distress. Some tried to ignore the unease, hoping it would blow over. Others became digital detectives, searching for clues, analyzing every Instagram story, dissecting every interview for hidden meanings about what was coming. The explosion. Then, on April 22, 2024, it happened. HYBE accused Min Hee-jin of attempting to seize management rights and seek independence for Adore, initiating an internal audit and demanding her resignation. This wasn't a quiet corporate memo. This was war declared publicly. 3 days later, on April 25, 2024, Min held a shocking press conference using heated language rarely seen in the polite corporate world of K-pop. She called HYBE leadership old men, accused them of being thugs, and framed the situation as an all-out confrontation. She denied allegations of attempting a management rights seizure and raised the explosive NewJeans neglect theory, claiming HYBE was deliberately sabotaging the group she had built. Min filed an injunction on May 7, 2024, to prevent HYBE from exercising voting rights to remove her as CEO at the next shareholders' meeting. On May 17th, NewJeans members themselves filed a petition with the Seoul Central District Court to prevent Min's dismissal. That same day, Min's alleged private Kakao Talk messages were leaked, showing her making disparaging remarks about NewJeans and their fans, messages she claimed were illegally obtained. The plot thickened on May 19th, when NewJeans' parents submitted their own petition to the court in Min's favor. However, HYBE later claimed in court that Min had actually orchestrated these parent emails herself, directing Adore deputy executives to draft messages and even instructing them with phrases like, "Send this to Danielle's mom," and "revise this to sound like Hyeon's father." HYBE pointed to the inclusion of legal contract termination clauses and Min's signature phrase, "It's puzzling," as evidence. Meanwhile, several HYBE executives, including producers and creative directors of BTS, LE SSERAFIM, and Tomorrow X Together, submitted petitions supporting HYBE's position. Belift Lab filed defamation charges against Min on May 22nd. On May 30th, the court sided with Min, upholding her injunction and preventing HYBE from voting to dismiss her as CEO. It seemed like a victory, but the war was far from over. The dismissal and the rebellion. In July 2024, another legal bomb dropped. Source Music, another HYBE subsidiary, filed a 500 million won, 437,082 lawsuit against Min, alleging she interfered with their operations, caused financial losses, and defamed the company by claiming she personally cast members who were actually Source Music trainees. The Seoul Central District Court later ruled Min's Kakao Talk messages admissible as evidence in August 2024. In October 2024, Team Bunnies launched an online fundraising campaign claiming they would report malicious posts targeting NewJeans. Within 8 hours, they raised over 50 million won, approximately $34,928. However, South Korean law requires anyone raising donations exceeding 10 million won to register with authorities. Violations carry penalties of up to 3 years in prison or fines up to 30 million won. A complaint was filed, and in October 2025, the Seoul Northern District Prosecutor's Office ruled the fundraiser violated the Donation Solicitation Act. Since the representative of Team Bunnies was a minor, the case was referred to Seoul Family Court's Juvenile Division for protective custody rather than criminal charges. All collected funds were frozen pending investigation, but the fandom itself was splitting. On March 27, 2025, another faction of bunnies staged protest trucks outside HYBE headquarters with LED screens displaying messages urging NewJeans to reconsider their independence bid. Messages read, "A conversation with Ador is necessary. The risks NewJeans will face are too great to regret later. Already 1 year of inactivity, 3 more years in lawsuits. Everyone will forget you. And the adults around NewJeans, stop gaslighting them." This public protest against their own idols was nearly unprecedented in K-pop fan culture. Meanwhile, another major pro-NewJeans faction, also called Team Bunnies, remained vocally supportive, releasing statements reaffirming unwavering support and consulting legal experts who believed forcing exclusive activities under a broken trust relationship severely infringes upon personal rights. The verdicts and the fallout. Throughout March, April, and May 2025, hearings continued. NewJeans testified about unfair treatment, broken trust, leaked trainee videos, internal documents planning their disposal, Min's dismissal, illicit plagiarism allegations, media manipulation, and emotional harm. They argued that merely removing Min created a managerial vacuum and that ADOR failed its contractual obligation to protect them. Ador countered that it had invested 21 billion Korean won in NewJeans, conducted transparent revenue settlements, released albums, prepared fan meetings, established world tour plans, and provided opportunities for events and advertising shoots, even without the cooperation of NewJeans. They argued no grounds for contract termination existed. The court remarked during proceedings, "Typically, trust breaks when settlements are never made, but this case is highly unusual. We must deliberate on the abstract concept of a collapsed trust relationship." On October 30th, 2025, the Seoul Central District Court delivered its final ruling. Ador won. Chief Judge Jong Hoe-il confirmed the validity of the group's 7-year exclusive contract signed in 2022, binding NewJeans to Ador until it expires in 2029. The court ruled, "It is difficult to conclude that Ador breached the exclusive contract solely on the grounds of Min Hee-jin's dismissal. The fact that Min was removed from her position as CEO does not in itself mean that a managerial vacuum was created or that Ador became incapable of fulfilling its contractual obligations. The member's personal trust in Min alone does not establish that guaranteeing her CEO position was a fundamental obligation under the exclusive contract." The court also noted that Adore had offered Min a revised contract to continue as producer after her CEO dismissal, but she voluntarily resigned instead. Regarding the illit plagiarism allegations, the court acknowledged some similarities in promotional materials, but ruled it didn't constitute copying. All claims, trainee video leaks, internal documents, Hani's manager encounter, illit concept similarities, were deemed insufficient legal grounds for contract termination. NewJeans was ordered to bear all litigation costs. HYBE's stock immediately jumped over 5%, climbing from 316,500 Korean won to 324,000 won on the Kospi, marking a market cap gain of about 915 billion won, $644 million. Adore released a statement expressing hope that the ruling would serve as an opportunity for the artists to calmly reflect on this matter. NewJeans' legal representatives immediately announced their intention to appeal. While the members respect the court's decision, it is impossible to return to ADOR and continue normal entertainment activities under the current situation, where the trust relationship with ADOR has been completely destroyed. The scandals that never stop, but wait, there's more. While NewJeans and Adore fought in court, HYBE's chairman Bang Si-hyuk faced his own legal nightmare. Police launched an investigation into Bang for allegedly violating South Korea's Capital Markets Act. The accusation: in 2019, Bang allegedly deceived early HYBE investors by claiming the company had no plans for an initial public offering, IPO, prompting them to sell their shares. Then he proceeded with the IPO in October 2020 and allegedly profited around 400 billion won, approximately 292 to 295 million US dollars in the process. In July 2025, Seoul police raided HYBE headquarters. This marked the first time a search and seizure warrant was executed in the case. Police initially requested warrants in April and May, but prosecutors rejected them. The third attempt succeeded. As of October 2025, police announced they were conducting a legal review and considering seeking an arrest warrant for Bang. Legal experts explained that legal review indicates police are examining whether gathered evidence constitutes a crime and whether there's sufficient grounds for arrest. The Financial Supervisory Service also planned to formally refer Bang to prosecutors. HYBE denied all wrongdoing, stating, "All transactions were conducted within legal boundaries after thorough legal review." The outcome of this investigation remains pending, but the reputational damage is done. Additionally, Min Hee-jin faced her own workplace misconduct allegations. In January 2025, initial complaints of workplace harassment were dismissed by the Ministry of Employment and Labor. However, in March 2025, the Seoul Regional Employment and Labor Office issued an administrative fine against Min, determining certain actions met the threshold for workplace harassment under South Korean labor law. Min appealed the decision. In July 2025, the Seoul Yongsan Police Station cleared Min of all breach of trust allegations filed by HYBE in April 2024, concluding insufficient evidence existed for criminal charges. HYBE announced its intent to appeal with new evidence. Industry shockwaves and legislative response. The NewJeans case sent shockwaves through the entire K-pop industry, forcing conversations about contracts, artist rights, mental health, and corporate accountability. South Korea had already passed reforms in April 2023 following the Lee Seung-gi slave contract scandal. Singer Lee Seung-gi had worked for Hook Entertainment for 18 years without receiving any digital music royalties, a shocking revelation that Dispatch called a slave contract. This led to the amendment of the Popular Culture and Arts Industry Development Act. Financial transparency requirements. Agencies must disclose income statements to artists at least once a year and whenever requested working hour limits for minors. Under 12 years old, 25 hours per week, 6 hours per day. Ages 12 to 15, 30 hours per week, 7 hours per day. Ages 15 plus, 35 hours per week, 7 hours per day. Education rights protection. Banning activities that infringe on young celebrities' right to education, Health and safety protections, prohibiting physical, verbal abuse and coercion regarding appearance and weight, youth protection officers. Entertainment businesses must appoint officers responsible for safeguarding minors' well-being. In March 2025, a proposed revision to the enforcement decree went further, requiring agencies to provide written financial statements and underlying accounting records at least once a year, even without artist request. The ministry aimed for implementation by end of March 2025. In the world spotlight, a new K-pop age. One thing is crystal clear. NewJeans' rebellion has forever altered the rules, hopes, and power dynamics of K-pop. They may be silent for now, frozen by court orders and billion-won penalties, but their fight echoes in every studio, boardroom, practice room, and fan community worldwide. Even if the system has won this round, for now, no one can stop the questions, ideas, conversations, protests, and dreams their journey has inspired. The next generation of idols watched this unfold. They saw 5 young women stand up to a billion-dollar corporation. They saw the costs, financial, emotional, career-ending, but they also saw the possibility. The NewJeans saga proves that K-pop, for all its manufactured perfection, is ultimately human. It's built on the dreams, sweat, tears, and talent of young people who deserve dignity, protection, and choice. Whether the industry learns from this moment or doubles down on control will define K-pop's next decade. So as we watch, wait, hope, and remember, ask yourself, should the creators of K-pop's magic have control of their art and careers? Will you support the system or the dreamers who risk everything for a chance at freedom? And when the next idol stands up to their agency, whose side will you be on? For more scandal, truth, courtroom drama, stock fraud investigations, financial penalties, and exclusive updates from inside the music world, subscribe to the Gossip Glow and turn on notifications. Never miss a twist, verdict, revelation, or the next chapter in this ongoing saga. Whose side are you on, and what future do you predict for NewJeans and K-pop? Comment below with your theories, predictions, and support. We are your front row seat to the untold stories, the hidden battles, and the shocking truths that shape the industry. This is the Gossip Glow. See you next time when we dig even deeper into the stories they don't want you to know.